From the moment we're born, we're given this script of smile, look pretty, make people happy, and don't eat too much ice cream. If you do all those things, then life will be grand. Find a nice husband, maybe marry a doctor, have kids. And so we blindly are brought into this world and we blindly do the things that we think we're supposed to do. And then we hit this point and we realize that all those things didn't make us happy. What's wrong with me? Because I did all those things and now I'm not happy. And so we go to the doctor and then we get put on medication for depression or anxiety or ADHD medication, thinking that there's something inherently wrong with us and that we need to fix it, because it couldn't possibly be that these things that we've been told since we were born are lies. I am Steph Shanks. I'm a portrait and headshot photographer. I am running a retreat in May, and I have a podcast called Unwritten. And what I have learned in my 43 years of life, specifically in the last 3, when I went through my second divorce and became a single mom, running a household on my own, a business owner, doing it on my own, is that for the years and years and years, I tried to hold it together, seeing myself through this lens, this broken mirror of why can't I just be happy? It's because that lie that we've been told, that I want to call it like a covering we've had put over our eyes. It's because we as women, we are becoming stronger than the weight that's trying to keep us down. Through the podcast and through the YouTube video and through the retreat, I am trying to help women feel like they are worthy to have a life that fulfills them and brings them joy. Because there is nothing more beautiful than a woman that can see her own worth and can spread love and happiness throughout the world. And I think we all are capable of doing that. And we just need more women to stand up for themselves so that we can see them and we can be that guiding light. And what I realized through this process of the second divorce that I felt really bad about and felt really guilty about, and I had to learn to forgive myself for thinking that I should feel guilty for not being happy. I had to forgive myself for believing that I could give from an empty cup. I had to forgive myself for looking in the mirror and hating who I saw and wishing I was somebody else that could just enjoy her life. I wanted so badly to be somebody else for so long that could just look around at the life she created, the happy home, cars in the driveway, the gym memberships, the fancy vacations. I wanted to be the person that could just enjoy and appreciate all that. And because I couldn't, I went on antidepressants. I started getting really high blood pressure, and I had anxiety, and I had asthma, and I had migraines, and I felt like I was dying. So how many of you out there feel like you're dying just so you can stay in the life that you thought you wanted? And there's no shame in knowing that you don't want that life anymore. We grow and we change, and we're not taught that we grow and we change. We go to grade school, we go to middle school, we go to high school, we go to college, we have babies, and our bodies are changing, and yet we're supposed to stay the same. We're supposed to stay in the same relationship. We're supposed to stay the same size jeans. Our skin isn't supposed to sag and wrinkle. It's like, come on. We're fighting against everything just to stay the same in a world that doesn't stay the same. So for me, the impetus of change was reading this book during COVID. It's called Your Prince Charming Isn't Coming. And it was this woman that told her story about how her husband had lost all of their money, that she was a heir to something. So she had quite a bit of money and lost it all. And she lost it because she trusted her husband to take care of She didn't know passwords. She didn't know where the money was going. She just blindly let him have it. And again, this blind thing keeps coming up and up. And then she goes on to say how women, when their husbands die or they need a divorce, that they are pretty much a lot of women are faced with poverty, and that's why they stay, or they don't know passwords to get into things. They don't know their finances. And it made me realize that I needed to get my shit together. I needed to make my business profitable because I was the only one that could do it. And it's scary and it's not easy to think that way. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought about, oh my gosh, I do want my business to thrive. If something were to happen and I needed to get a divorce, or my husband at the time died, or my kids got sick, all these things that literally happen every day. If one of those things happened to me, I want to make sure that I'm okay and that my kids are okay and they're taken care of. And it doesn't happen overnight. So that's why we need to take these little micro steps every day into stepping into our own self-worth, stepping into our own power and our own confidence to get to the point where we are financially on our own feet and we are responsible for our life. When I went through my divorce, I was so scared about making every decision, every financial decision, because it freaks me out. It freaked me out. So I always put all the hard decisions on my ex. And I thought that was normal to do that because I'm the woman. And, I let my business kind of take a back seat to his business. I was the one that got the groceries and, had dinner on the table every night. And I did all these things because I thought that's what being a good woman was. And through this process, I realized that being a good woman is showing up every day for myself, the people that I love, and the kids that I have, and my stepkids that I still keep in contact with. And I make financial decisions, but every day I have to work at it. I don't just wake up and say, oh, I'm so wealthy today. I've never woken up and said that. It's like I have to fight every day my own battles in my head because it's a complete mind fuck what we put ourselves under. And, the other day I was around a large group of women and powerhouse women, and I realized we all struggle with the same things, but we're struggling through it, not in it. And I think that's the difference that I want to make, is that there's a difference between being sad and keeping the status quo and knowing that there's more to your life and more to you, but you have to play small to stay in your role, in your relationship, in the roles that you've created. And a difference between that person and the person that's really scared AF, but they are doing the things that are in their heart. Because like I started this conversation, when we do the things that are in our heart and we do the hard things and we do the very brave things, which I love that word, then the next thing that we have to face isn't as hard, and it's not as hard. And we keep going. So that, 5 years ago, I couldn't pick out a vehicle. Like, I needed my husband at the time. I needed his approval to pick out a car to drive. I didn't even test drive the car. I took him with me. I had him test drive the car. I didn't even drive it until I bought it, and I drove it home. Like, that's insane to me now that I didn't even drive the car that I was about to buy. But I had a fear of making decisions, because what if I made the wrong decision, right? If I make the wrong decision, that's bad. So I'm just not going to make any decision. And that's been the biggest hurdle I've had to come across, is that I am going to make bad decisions. I'm going to make poor decisions, and that's okay. Because at the end of the day, I'm making the decisions for me. I am worth it. I am worthy. Keep telling yourself this over and over and over again. Thank you.